Hi Struggle Strategizers! Welcome to our new IGTV series called Behind the Blog. If you're new here, I'm Sondra and this is Shaped by the Struggle. A struggle strategizer is basically someone who wants to be shaped by the struggles they experience. So if you're a lady that's lost, that's going through a hard season, or even if you're going through a good season and you just want to be prepared for the hard things that are coming, this is for you. And we don't have to be perfect or fixed to be a struggle strategizer. We just have to be willing for God to work and to trust Him in the hard seasons of life. With that being said, the Behind the Blog series is going to feature certain vlogs that we've covered in the past and will continue to cover in the future. And it'll be a short episode that will discuss the main points and also what I was thinking in writing the blog. So I hope you enjoy and let me know your thoughts below. Also, if you're looking for where to find our blogs, you can find them in the link in our Instagram or Facebook bio. So this first episode is focusing on our first blog, which is called, Is Your Struggle Invisible? This is a question that I think all of us go through at times, and it's a very reasonable question, and often we can feel that we're alone in our struggle. But when we look at the God that we serve and what He has faced and the struggle He has overcome, it changes that that story that we're alone, that story that no one else understands. I wrote this blog way before the blog was up and live, and I really wrote it from a place of feeling misunderstood and feeling that no one could possibly know what I was going through. And even a simple coffee date or a phone call or a text, like, it was hard for me to not only express the extent to what I was feeling and thinking, but I felt that even if I was able to do that perfectly, that no one could possibly understand that because they aren't me, right? They don't wake up in the morning and face the kind of things that I face, and they don't see the things in my life that God sees. So with that being said, I think that a lot of people might see our symptoms of struggle, whether that's physical, mental, emotional, or even spiritual struggle, and they might see it, right, physically, or they might not see it. But even if they do, it doesn't give us that automatic feeling that we're known, that we're heard. And even the best of friends, the best of confidants, they can try so hard and they can be here for us, but sometimes when you pour your heart out to someone, you can feel refreshed, and we need community, but other times we can also feel disappointed, like there's no way this person knows what I'm going through. With all of that being said, the one thing I want you to take away from this blog and this video is that Jesus knows what you're thinking and feeling, and He feels it with you. The Holy Spirit lives inside of us. And if you're a follower of Christ, then that means that He is walking those steps with you, and He's feeling those things as you go along. And even if you don't know who God is, He's still omnipresent. He's everywhere at once, and He still sees what you're going through, and He understands your pain in a way that no one else can. I want to make a point that who we are and who we are for impacts how and why we struggle. So sometimes we struggle because of our own choices, and there's God's grace in that. And sometimes we struggle because we live in an imperfect world, and there's no good reason or no good answer for why this happened. There's no way to justify that this happened for a reason or a good reason, although God can bring beauty from pain. So I want you to think about who you are and who you are for, because that impacts how and why you struggle. So just think about that today. Jesus struggled for us. He struggled to the point of death, but even God himself, in the biggest struggle that I would say could ever exist for God to take on human skin and flesh and then to die human death, but not only a death, but endure a Roman crucifixion. He was totally misunderstood, and it's crazy to think that God himself was misunderstood, but Jesus' followers, his friends, his family, they didn't understand why he had to struggle and exactly how he was struggling. But when we think of God the Father, Jesus had a relationship with God the Father, that God the Father saw what he was going through and he felt it with them, because we know that God the Father, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit are one. But even then, Jesus had to take on that burden as the Son of God, and he had to feel pain that we could never imagine what that's like. I have a quote in this blog that I think is really important, and it says that the suffering of Christ could be seen, heard, smelt, and touched by others. So people could see it, they could hear it, they could smell the blood. The crowd could see his pain, hear his cries, smell his blood, and touch his bones. But only Jesus could taste his own suffering. And I think that's really important to recognize that he was misunderstood and in pain, and he endured that suffering with those realities. So maybe your struggle is so raw that you feel like you're being crucified to a cross. You feel like your life is over. You feel like maybe your dreams are shot, maybe your plans are shot, maybe financially you don't know what's next. Mentally, you're struggling with anxiety or depression, or other mental health concerns. Maybe you're struggling with a career change or what to do, and you just feel like everything you knew, the identity that you had, who you were, that's all being crucified to a cross, and you don't know where to go. Like you're stuck on that cross and you can't take a step forward because the suffering is just suffocating you. What I want you to remember is that suffering won't last forever, that our third day is coming, even if that means 3 years, 3 months, or eternity with God. Our healing will come. We will be made whole one day. But that does not mean, I want to be clear, that does not mean that we don't have a purpose on this earth right now, and that God will use your story for good. He will use your testimony, and he will use this process, this pain, for a purpose, for refinement. And he will teach you things, and he will also teach other people things through you. So I want to remind you that the next time you're alone and you think no one could possibly understand, it's normal to think that way. Stop yourself, remind yourself that God sees you, he hears you, he knows you, and that this pain will not last forever. I hope that encourages you. If you want more, again, you can check out the link in our bio. This is called Is Your Struggle Invisible? And also you can sign up for our email list for more free resources and weekly encouragement. That link is in our bio as well. Thanks for watching.